Welcome to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie. Today I wanted to show how I'm painting up my Necrons. I got some Necrons with Imperium magazine, some warriors. I got some Necron Immortals / Death Marks from a charity shop for super cheap. That's a Goodwill if you're in America. And that was a good score. And I was like, I need to make a Kill Team. And I've just recently got the Kill Team starter set. I want to play Kill Team with my friend Dan because he has 40k and I don't play 40k. Kill Team something we can both play. I love the thing with Kill Team and Warcry where, you know, you could just get a handful of models for any faction. You don't have to love the whole faction, all their vehicles and leaders and everything. You could just pick the bits you like. And I like these Necron models, so I'm painting them up. I'm going for a pretty simple scheme. You could just dry brush it, but you'll see how I'm doing it. I'll step you through it. First of all, I primed it black. I used a high coat black primer, cheap one, about £6 a tin. Cheaper than using a Chaos Black or whatever. But you can use any black primer. And then I went over some missed bits with a black paint with a brush, just to make sure it was all black. And then it's just getting your silver. Get your brightest silver. I was using an old pot of chainmail from Citadel, which is great, but when that runs out, I'm going to cry because I love that silver. If you know of a really good silver that covers really well, please let me know, because Rune Fang Steel is not it. But just basically touching the top areas where the light would catch, the edges, but only the top ones. So it's not like a Space Marine edge highlight, just the top bits. And you can also put in any bits that you want to have as scratches. So the idea being that it's a kind of metal paint, a black paint over metal, basically. And some of it's chipped off at the edges and stuff. And just where the light would catch. So following along all these edges. I ended up doing the gun just the same as the body, just to keep it simple, because the idea of these isn't really to do the best paint job in the world, but to get them all looking good and sinister quite quickly. Some of these bits I'm painting on, some of them I'm almost dry brushing on, and some of them I'm kind of stippling. It's depending on the surface that you're covering, what you want to get. And they have little dents and stuff. Definitely get some silver in them. That looks good. When you got the silver done all over, and I mean all over, it's time for your glow on your weapon. I went for blue. I went for a Cantor blue base. And water that down with a bit of medium or water if you prefer. I use this Instar Water Plus. It's a kind of flow agent. It's great. I love it. I'm going to get a big bottle. Oh, you do want it quite runny. This can go in the gaps. Just going to splush this on. So on the pipe leading to the weapon, and just leaving some black at the ends. And if the more watery it is, the better here, because you want it to sort of blend. So you're kind of going over the middle bit, but the edges nearest to the black bit, the two extremities of the pipe, you want to leave, and probably leave the bottom as well, the underside. A bit on the back, in case anyone's looking. So then you want to apply the blue, or whatever colour you're doing, around, covering the circle in the middle, and just around it, so all the little edges around that circular bit are having some blue light thrown onto them, basically. You can be quite rough with this. You can see I'm not being super precise. As it dries, you can see if you want to apply a bit more to the middle of the bits you've already done, just to, you know, make a more solid coverage. Then you want to do quite a lot on these, I don't know what these are, the super plasma-y, engine-y bit. I don't know what the magic Gauss powers are of this, but again, leave some black at the edges. Leave some black, but you want to get that blue in there so the shine is coming off the blue bit. Add a bit in the eye sockets. Again, it's the glow that's going to come from the brighter or lighter blue that's coming. Then you want to lighten that blue. Now, I've used Baharoth blue edge paint, but I don't think Citadel make that anymore. I love this paint. It's one of my favourite colours. But you can just mix up any lighter blue can go into that. You just want to brighten it up about 50-50, 40-60, something like that. Get that nice and bright, just so it's a good shade lighter than the blue you've just been doing. And again, you do this in green, you want to do this in pink, you want to do it in orange, whatever. Get that nice and mixed. And then you're applying that to a smaller area again in the middle of the sections you've just done. So basically doing the same thing, but here we're just applying that to the extruded pipes or whatever they are in this bit. So the dark blue glow is still behind them, but these pipe bits have got the lighter on. I think that works. And then you're doing the same thing across these. So you're drawing the circles in, getting for a smaller brush, doing your circles in, and then once you've got the circles done, you're just lining the edges around it on the gun. So that outline's quite visible. And again, you don't have to be that subtle because, you know, at eye length on the table, this is going to be a pretty subtle model, however you do it. Then I'm going back to my Baharoth blue, or whatever lighter blue colour you go with. Just getting a bit of that, having it neat. No mixing this time. And just a further level of highlight on these little dots, little high points on those edges. I'm not painting this fast in real life. This is sped up. I'm not a very fast painter really. That's why I'm trying to get this to go quicker. Dot in the eyes. For a final highlight on the blue, you can just add some white to that, or I'm using the edge paint Blue Horror, which I still have, and it's just another shade lighter. And but you could just add a white to what you've already got, and you can see that just gives it that extra dot. And these are just dots now, just dots to give it the fade effect. Over the eye, I mean, you're probably going to cover up what you've already done, but little dot, just a tiny dot there. Now, a little trick you can do here, if your blend isn't looking that smooth, if it's not looking like a smooth glow from bright white blue down to the dark blue, just get some Talisar blue contrast, or again, whatever the equivalent bright coloured contrast of the colour you're doing is, and just drop that over what you've done, and then smudge it with your finger, and then the top layer will come off, but the lower levels will be sort of blended a bit, and it gives it a nice, I don't know, less stark, warmer diffusion of the light. Again, use your magic finger. Job done. On to basing. I'm doing mine with Xandri Dust. I mean, my base is just polyfiller that I've done and then drilled the model onto, pinned it on. I like polyfiller. Just spread it on. What do you call it in America? Spackle. Just put that on the base, and it saves. You know, you get a variation in levels in height, which I like, rather than a flat base with some texture paint on. So I really like using a bit of polyfiller these days. Even if you do texture paint over the top, I just like to give that uneven surface. Put a couple of rocks in. So these guys are going to be in some sandy planet. It's pretty basic. So Xandri Dust. and then a reclaimed flesh shade over that. Let that properly dry. Then you've got flayed one flesh as a dry brush. Rub most of that off. Get it on your brush. Rub most of it off. I'm using a little makeup brush. It's hard to get the smaller makeup brushes sometimes, but that's the way to go. Oops. So just little strokes, top down. Get that on there. Get some more on your brush. Rub it off. There's probably too much on there. But this is just the first layer. We're going to put a few dry brush layers on. And I tend to pay special attention to any stones or rocks that are in there because I like to make them a bit lighter to stand out. Great footage of the back of my thumb here. And then straight into Wraithbone on the brush, rub it off, rub even more off, and dry brush again. Again, pay more attention to the raised areas. Now this might be overkill, but I wanted a little bit more of a highlight. So Pallid Witch Flesh, that's pretty much my go-to white, and get some of that on there, just on the highest points, very lightly. I've had to touch up a couple of spots with Xandri dust that just, I don't know, got knocked off or something in the process. So that's pretty quick. Base rim, black. And then you're done. Finish Necron. And basically I've got a squad, a fire team of Necron warriors to do. Going to add death marks and make that a kill team. I hope you like them. I know they're super simple, but I think they have enough Necron-iness about them, but they're not going to take me too long to do, which is what I want for these. And I'm looking forward to getting them on the table and playing with them. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If anyone is painting up Necrons, send me your Necrons, like on Instagram or whatever. I'm quite into them right now, and if you follow my scheme, wicked. Really want to see them. And thanks for the likes and the comments and the subscribing so far. It's been really nice doing this channel this year. I'm loving it. Thanks a lot. See you next time.